Hi everybody, my name's Will, and when I started my Meta Ads agency, I had no experience, no portfolio, and no connections in the industry. But in just 4 years, alongside my university degree, I was able to generate over £1 million in client revenue, all while averaging a 5x return on ad spend. So by the end of this video, you'll know the exact framework I use to create insanely profitable Facebook and Instagram ads that generate hundreds of thousands of pounds for online stores. The first kind of phase of our Facebook and Instagram ad framework is ad research. This is so important. This is going to determine every single decision we make after this. This is the foundation of good ads. This is the foundation of good results. So please do not skip this. Make sure you get this right the first time if you want to start your ads with success. We break this down into 3 separate phases, and you can see they kind of connect with each other. So competitor research, creative research, and customer research. So the first one would be competitor research. So looking at competitors' websites, looking at competitors' offers, and looking at competitors' Meta Ads library. So when we're looking at their website, we're looking at how are they increasing average order value, how are they increasing lifetime customer value, how are they increasing conversion rate, how are they increasing trust in the brand, what are they doing with their checkout page, what are they doing with their add to cart page, and all these different things that we can model or use to differentiate ourselves from them. The next thing we will be looking at is their offers. So are they running discounts? What kind of discounts are they running? When are they running discounts? For how long are they running discounts? Or maybe it's not discounts, maybe it's bundles, maybe it's subscriptions, maybe it's a free gift. So really seeing what kind of offers they're running. So again, we can either model this or we can differentiate ourselves from this, right? And then the last thing would be looking at the ad library. So looking at, okay, are they running image, video, carousel? What kind of videos are they running? What kind of images are they running? What kind of ads are they running? What kind of angles are they using? All these different things are little data points that we can use to then start creating our ads from, right? Then we jump into our creative research. So creative research will be really focused on the creative. Meta came out with a stat earlier this year that said 56% of ad results come from the creative. So the bulk of your ad results will come from having good creative. So it's really important that you nail the creative, and you will get good ad results, right? So we break the creative down into 3 separate things. One being the format, so image, video, carousel, catalog, and then we have secondary format within that. So if they're running a video, what kind of video are they running? Is it a UGC style video? Is it a product demonstration video? Is it an us versus them video? Is it a founder led video? So really breaking this down into, okay, which kind of formats are our competitors running, which kind of formats is the market running, which kind of formats should we be running. The next thing will be organic trends. It's really important in 2025 that we make our ads native to the platform. If it looks like an ad, then people get that kind of sales block, they put that wall up and they swipe past, right? So if we can leverage different trends that are happening on the platform, then we can be native to that platform and kind of stand out, right? The last one would be the angle. So this is just a reason someone would, could, or should buy your product. A good example is Simmer Eats, a brand that's doing really well on Meta at the minute. They're a meal delivery service. So one angle might be that it saves time washing up. Another angle might be that over the long run, maybe you save money if you go out to eat a lot. And another angle might be that, it has high protein, so you can hit your protein targets. Then we jump into our customer research. So this is really important. You can do things like post-purchase surveys, which really help. Speaking to people in your target market obviously really help, but then you can also look at things like Reddit and Amazon reviews and your reviews and competitors' reviews and everything like that to really get a better understanding of your customers. And again, we break this down into 3 separate things. One being their pains and desires. So what problems are they trying to solve by purchasing your product, or what are they trying to gain by purchasing your product? Seeing what different angles we can use there. The next one would be sophistication and awareness. This sounds complicated, but it really isn't. Sophistication just means how sophisticated is the market. So have they seen offers like yours before? Have they seen products like yours before? How well do they know your market? Is it something new to them, or have they kind of heard it all before? So knowing that obviously really helps with kind of your headlines for your ads and things like that, and where to start the conversation. And the same thing with awareness. It goes on a scale from kind of unaware to most aware, unaware being they have no idea about their problem, have no idea about the solution, they have no idea about your product. Most aware being they know all four. Like for example, a brand like Coca-Cola, everyone knows Coca-Cola. You see an ad from Coca-Cola and it just kind of reminds you to buy. And then in between that, you'd have problem aware. So they're aware of their problem, but not aware of your solution to their problem. And then you'd have solution aware. So they're aware of their problem, they're aware of the solution to their problem, but they're not aware of your product, helping them get to that solution, right? So knowing where they are on that kind of scale, super important to, like I said, starting the conversation, how to grab their attention. Then once we've kind of got this information, we can start to build out a customer avatar, which is just kind of giving a name and a face to our target market. So let's say we give them a name and a face and a demographic and interests and maybe a day in the life and kind of what they struggle with and all these different things. We can kind of build this persona that we can then speak to with our meta ads, right? Like I said, this ad research phase, very, very, very important if you want good ad results. Now, we're about to get to the fun part, but before I get into that, I'd just like to let you know about my done for you meta ads management service. If you don't have time to do all this by yourself, I'd be happy to take over your Facebook and Instagram ads for you. Like I said, I've generated over £1 million on the platform, worked in lots of different industries, so I've probably worked in a business similar to yours, so I can kind of bring that experience to your ad campaigns and help you get the best results possible. If that sounds interesting, you can go into the description of this YouTube video and book in for a free, no obligation call with me to find out more. And hopefully we get a chance to work together. So we got that out of the way, we can jump into the fun part, the ad creation part. So like I said, we'll take everything from our ad research, we'll bring it down to this ad creation phase. We'll choose our angle. So let's go back to our example for Simmer Eats. Let's say that we are using the angle of someone wanting to save time with washing up, right? So they can just they can just get their food out of the fridge, pop in the microwave, done, right? So which format would serve that angle best? Would it be a video? Would it be an image? Would it be a carousel? Would it be a catalog? I would like to say probably a video, right? If you can see maybe someone washing up and having a bad time washing up, and then we can kind of cut to, okay, this is the solution, right? Maybe that would get that angle across in the best way. So we choose this primary format as a video, and then we jump into the secondary format. This is where you can get very, very creative. If you look through Meta Ads Library, you'll see tons and tons of secondary formats, but I'll just list a few so you get kind of an idea of what we're looking for here. So let's say it's video, we could do UGC, Reels, a partnership ad, so maybe working with an influencer, and us versus them. So talking about why a competitor's product is inferior to yours and why yours is the clear choice, right? A feature point out, so maybe some arrows coming off of your product with the different features and benefits, right? Text overlay, so maybe just a simple picture of the product with a headline over it. A professional video, so maybe you hire someone to come into the premises and take a professional video for you. A founder-led video, so maybe it's a founder talking to camera, that sort of thing. You can do feature benefits, testimonials, press mentions. The testimonials and press mentions work really, really well because obviously they increase that trust, they increase that social proof. Maybe it's just a simple bullet point. Maybe it's a before and after reviews in the product. Maybe it's an endorsement from maybe a celebrity or a public figure in the industry. Maybe it's just a headline or a soundbite or a podcast clip. Maybe it's just a post-it note, simple post-it note. These have worked really, really well in the past. Maybe it's some statistics. So you save 3+ hours a week on washing up, to go back to our Simmer Eat example. And then again, just social proof. So maybe it's just X amount of products sold or X amount of happy customers or a Trustpilot screenshot, anything like that. So you can really see that we can get really creative with this part of the ad creation process. And when you're first starting your kind of testing phase, you really want to go broad with this. So lots of different formats, see what sticks, see what works well, and then you can kind of double down on that. You can pull that thread and make better and better ads, which we'll get into in just a second. And then again, like I mentioned in the research phase, is there any organic trends that we can kind of leverage with our ads? So we can have a look at what organic creators are doing, so people who post Instagram Reels, maybe even YouTube videos, and then see what our competitors are doing, right? And kind of leverage these trends so we look native to the platform, so we can connect better with our target market. So once we've kind of created a sort of brief, we can say, okay, we're going to use angle A, B, and C with format video, image, and carousel, and then we're going to use this secondary format and we're going to leverage this trend, and we can start to build out our ads. So once we've kind of built our ads, we can jump into the ad management phase. I've written 2-week test, but this completely depends on your budget. If you're running, let's say, with a £50 a day budget, then yeah, you might want 2 weeks to kind of see what ads are working well, right? We need our ads to be statistically significant for us to make informed and educated decisions on what to do with our ads. This is why I really stress that leave the ads for at least 2 weeks if you're on a small budget. When I say small budget, anything below really £200 a day, you probably want to leave it for about 2 weeks before you start making decisions. So to launch our ads, 2-week test. Analyze and optimize. Now, analyze and optimize just means going down your ad campaign and seeing which ads are performing well and which ads are not performing well. We'd calculate something called our break-even cost per purchase, which basically just means what cost per purchase can we have and still break even. And if anything's above that number, we'd want to turn that ad off, right? Because that ad is losing us money. And if in below that number, we can leave that ad running because these ads need time to optimize, to learn, for Meta to show them to the right people and for them to take off. If that ad stays around break even for months and months and months, it might be time to turn it off, but we really want to try and optimize for way below our break even. Also, you want to see what is working well. So if you can see that your top 2 ads are video ads, it's a good sign that you should probably make more video ads, right? So then we would get into our 2-week creative generation. So we'd repeat this process again. We'd go and refresh our ad research. Let's see if there's anything new. Let's speak to our customers, see how we can improve and make new ads, right? So once we make our new ads, we would then launch again. We'd optimize, turn off the underperforming ads, and then relaunch new ads and repeat this process again. And you can see this is kind of like a flywheel of just better and better and better and better ads, right? So you're just constantly improving, constantly pulling threads. A good rule of thumb would be 80% of your time and resources should go to ads that are already working. So let's say UGC videos are working really, really well. Let's put 80% of our time and resources there, and let's use that remaining 20% to test new things. So maybe we'll test some images, maybe we'll test some carousels. But again, 80% of your time and resources really want to go to what's working. That's what's going to give you the best results. Just repeat that process. You'll be surprised on good results you can get after 30, 60, 90 days. It really compounds your results on this. Once you've got your ads into a good place, you're really, really profitable, way below your break-even cost per purchase, you can start to scale. This was the fun part. This is the really fun part. There's a few rules when it comes to scaling. An acceptable cost per purchase, 20% below your break-even cost per purchase. For math's sake, let's say a £10 cost per purchase, you're fairly profitable. So maybe shoot for an £8 cost per purchase, and once you get that £8 cost per purchase, you can start to scale those creatives, right? And then another thing is these are kind of interchangeable. So either new audience frequency above 2 or high reach. Either or works. New audience frequency just meaning if you set up your audience segments in your Meta ads campaign, you can define your results by your existing customers, your engaged customers, and your new customers. And the new customer frequency wants to be below 2. What frequency means is how many times your ad is shown to someone, to one person, right? So let's say your ad's being shown to someone 3 times before they make a purchase. If you were to scale your budget, you would only really be putting your ads in front of 30% new people, because those new people are having ads shown to them 3 times, right, before they convert. So you really want your new audience frequency to be below 2. So when you scale your budget, a lot of that budget is going towards reaching new customers. This is really, really important. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, my new audience frequency is above 2, so how do I fix that? Well, the answer to that is really just make better ads. Make ads that apply to more people, that convert faster, that convert better. If you can do that, you get that new audience frequency below 2, then you can start to scale. So as long as we've hit this criteria, we can start to scale. So there's 2 scaling strategies. I would recommend normal, but again, if you're maybe going into, I don't know, Q4 or something, you might want to go a little bit more aggressive. So normal scaling would be increasing budget 10 to 20% per week on a Monday. It's important to do it on a Monday so then you can get balanced results throughout the week. If you kind of do it on the Friday, then you might see really, really good results over the weekend, but then they might drop off. So if you do it on a Monday, it's better to get an understanding of what's really working. And again, if you do it on a Monday, it gives you time to tweak later on in the week. If you wanted to go more aggressive, I would recommend a Monday and a Thursday. Thursday. So again, just 10-20% on a Monday and a Thursday to scale your budget up. This is exactly how I went from zero experience to generating hundreds of thousands of pounds for my client. Now, you have two options, right? You can either take everything I've said in this video and figure it out for yourself, or option two is you can go into the description of this YouTube video and book in for a free, no obligation call for me to find out more. Completely your call, but hopefully we get a chance to work together soon.